Senator Catskill recently made an appearance on the Report Night show with Steven Spielberg, where she made a brief PSA espousing the idea that the First Amendment rights of an entire half the United States should be abridged. Many people have complained that this was offensive, and to them I say, come on, learn to take a joke. But clearly, since the humor was too subtle for you, I'm going to first break down her points one by one to show you the soft nugget of comedic gold hidden behind the mushy-feeted casing of hateful rhetoric around it. And I'd like to point out ahead of time that when she says men, she means straight men. Because all white men are straight. Because, I don't know, patriarchal hegemony times privilege equals pie. Pie. First she says that men should shut up about what women do with their bodies. As an obvious joke, because men are already tied like 50-50 on the issue of pro-life versus abortion. So for any man to speak his mind one way, there's an equal and opposite man on the other side, and it's a moot point. As far as slut-shaming goes, men don't slut-shame. In fact, almost all slut-shaming is by women who don't realize that men love sluts. It's not that she doesn't want your opinion, it's that it's not going to solve anything. Plus 5 points for knowing your statistics, Claire. Who the next James Bond will be? Now this is a tough one, but seeing as she looks about as exciting as a Siberian tundra, an exciting gadget and scenery porn explosion fest, such as the Bond series, is just not something that matters to her. Minus 10 points for author bias, Senator. Whether it's pronounced GIF or JIF, obviously it's pronounced Jaff. Open and shut case. No need for discussion. Plus 1 point for simplicity, but minus 5 for pandering to Reddit on things you don't care about. Star Wars. Well, of course men are going to talk endlessly about Star Wars. She's just parodying the belief that the only thing men care about is pop culture and genre fiction categories. Further establishing the known fact that men only care about meaningless stuff, like the portrayal of people in creative fiction, and not the important stuff, like women having their faces melted with acid for trying to attend university, or having sex outside of the most sexually liberated countries in the world. Plus 15 points for being a cheeky bint. Pantsuits. Unless you're gay, then do my wardrobe. Of course you'd go right to fashion. Women, am I right? Plus 5 for using feminism to solidify gender roles. Selfies. Now this doesn't show up in my spell checker, but Tumblr says that selfies have allowed women to liberate themselves in a non-narcissistic way by putting pictures of themselves up on the internet so they can look at them and get praise from everyone else who sees them. Minus 5 points because Frida Kahlo is calling. Shonda Rhimes. Minus 5 because my girlfriend drives a Shonda. Curtains. Plus 5. Men can't decorate. Gay men need not heed this one. Carbs. Plus 10 for back to fit with you. Millennials. Plus 10 for understanding that all millennials don't fall on the binary. I mean, why else would she claim that half a generation is not allowed to talk about themselves as a group? That would be silly. Body hair removal. Sorry, Robert. Mama likes herself a grizzly. Plus or minus 13 for bringing your personal fetishes up again. Religion. Minus 20. Because the cool pope wants his fucking hat back. Gluten. Minus 10. Because I looked into the kickbacks you're getting from Whole Foods, and because, god damn it, the gluten-free muffins do not taste the same. Harry Potter. Again, she's defending a female space. Ever since the erotic adventures of Harry Potter and his philosopher's rocks got off, the cold rationality of men has done nothing but dash wet dreams against said rocks. Plus 50 Ron Weasleys for your muff. Minus 5 points for not reading My Immortal, the most serious work of fiction ever. Nut allergies. I don't care, Howard. You'll eat what I cook and you'll fucking like it. Stop being a drama queen and eat your brittle, and maybe I'll drive you to the fucking hospital. Plus 100 for inspiring dark comedy. Star Wars again. Because seriously, men, am I right? All they talk about is Star Wars, behind the soundproof walls of the forums they set up specifically for that purpose, which can be easily avoided. Minus 5 Han Solos for dragging out the point. All art in general. plus 5 for continuing to ignore Milo's contributions to the avant-garde. Whether or not to brine the Thanksgiving turkey. Well, again, feminists are doing everything they can to keep women in the kitchen, and interference from men is unacceptable. Plus 20 more for gender roles. Men can't cook. Comedic genius. If we do all of this, we can talk about legalizing weed, because that's the only political issue that matters to men. Hacking and weed. Libertarian, 2016. I'm pretty sure I listed everything and left absolutely nothing out. It being the internet, however, everyone overreacted to the message that certain people, because of the way they are born, are too stupid, oblivious, callous, self-centered, or just generally maladjusted to have a valid opinion, and I completely understand why feminists are offended at being portrayed in this way. Come on, guys. Can't you take a joke? To be clear, I do not approve of her making such a broad generalization of feminists. It's just an outdated stereotype. She doesn't actually think feminists are shallow, self-aggrandizing, close-minded drama queens who ignore problems that don't personally affect them in order to use political narratives to further their self-interests above the rights of other human beings. She was just portraying them in this way to get a laugh. Again, it's wrong to judge feminists who really do care about making true equality a reality by the words and actions of a handful of regressive, histrionic, wailing sheep who wither away from any intellectual discourse and collapse onto the nearest fainting couch the moment they don't get everything they want, and use platforms that their privileged status as celebrities, politicians, or the beneficiaries of nepotism and wealth give them to complain about their hardships, despite the fact that they have all the advantages of living in the upper class of the first world, all while ignoring much more important global issues that cause death and suffering to people who don't even know what cyberbullying means. A lot of people don't think this is funny, because, really, she was not intending to portray feminists in this way. But to me, the fact that she did is the most hilarious thing I can think of.